Greetings, viral list builders. Planet Mitch from giveawayrocket.com with the instructions on how to do the spreadsheet. I've been frustrated with the stats that come out of upViral. It's not their fault. I've recommended some changes. Sometimes they can get those things done, but I like more data. So last night I was like, I'm going to create a spreadsheet and I'm going to give it to everybody and see how we can improve the way we look at the data for our upViral campaigns. So unfortunately, I got to give you a little bit of instructions on how to add the data to the spreadsheet, and then I think you'll love it. So these may change over time. The spreadsheet may change over time, but you can always get the updates over in the resources on our viral list building membership at giveawayrocket.com/gifts. I'm sorry, gift, no S. That will give you a free download called 10 Things to Avoid in Contest Marketing. We'll get you in our membership and you'll be able to get all the updates there, plus some cool training. And it's free. All right, so in the spreadsheet, there are multiple tabs. And by the way, I'm running numbers on a Mac. This will be exported in XLS format, so you should be able to open and do everything in Excel, in Windows and Mac if you want to do Mac version. So things may look a little different than what you're used to if you're used to Excel. Got to get that out of the way right up front. So on numbers, there's multiple tabs. On Excel, I know those are typically down at the bottom, so don't be confused. There will be a link right here for these instructions, so there'll be a URL there. And if you want to get into any of the other stuff, read the stuff below. Now the stats are going to appear here. You'll see some warnings because not all the data is there. And what we're going to do is we're going to go through the process of adding the data. Now you can share this data once you have it with your client if you're running this for a client, or you can just keep it yourself. But again, there's a lot more data here than what's in the upViral stats, and I'll show you how to do that. The first thing you're going to want to do is to duplicate this. So I'm going to go, because you want to keep the master clean. Now some of this data, I got lazy for my example here. When you get this, there will be no data in here, right? So typically what you're going to do is you're going to do File, and you're going to do Duplicate. And then I'm going to just call it Ceremonic, because that's the client I'm doing this for. And then we're going to go get the data. And what you're going to do is you're going to grab the data from the Excel spreadsheet, from the CSV, in the download. So how do you go get that? In your campaign, click on the Leads tab, and then do Export Leads. So I'm going to click that, and it's going to go into my Downloads folder. I now have a new Leads file, and I'm simply going to double-click it and open that in Numbers. Now what you want to do is to take the first columns, B through J, just simply select those and do Copy. So I'm going to do Edit, Copy. You can do it with a keyboard, of course. Then go into our spreadsheet, and you're going to simply select B through J and do Paste. I did it with my keyboard. Now, theoretically, you should be able to insert some rows. I currently have this set up for 10,000 rows. So if you have more data than that, you might be in trouble. That might be a whole nother video. Now the last thing that you need to do is need to go get data from upViral. And that comes from multiple sheets in upViral. So I'm going to switch back over to upViral and go to Stats. And what you want to do, and this is that's 30 days, so this is actually bigger numbers. What you're going to do is you're going to take whatever data I have in the spreadsheet, like total number of visits. You're going to grab this number right here, 3992, and you're going to put it in there, 3992. And you're going to go down to each one of these. Number of direct visitors is down here. That's 2165. Switch back over, 2165. You can see these numbers have changed a little since I created this last night. Number of direct leads, that's the one right below, 929. So this is a little bit of repetition, but I think it will give you some very good numbers later on when you get to the results over here. These numbers for Facebook, by the way, and Messenger, only if you want on the very bottom, just as an example, I decided to throw in the percentages for social sharing. So 33% of all of our social sharing was on Facebook. Okay, so those numbers come from here. If you decide you don't want to know that data, you don't have to go grab those. But let me just show you. That's on the social metrics tab. And the reason I'm doing it differently than upViral is upViral used to not include the custom actions. So these items down here are custom actions, right? What we used to get was just Facebook, Twitter, Google, Plus, WhatsApp, Messenger, Pinterest, and LinkedIn. Those are the ones that are our social sharing, and the custom actions are potentially other things. So I wanted to know how many people just simply did the social sharing buttons, and that data is not currently available in upViral stats. So I wanted to know that. So this number of total interactions and this user interaction total includes all of the custom actions. If you don't have any custom actions, then you get what you only did with the social sharing. And these numbers are numbers, and this gives you a little idea of the percentage. But again, these numbers still are the percentages with the part of the bar here are based on all of the data, not just social sharing. I have not done anything with the email stats. I'm not sure that I could bring that data over, and split tests are not important for what we're doing. So that's the two places you need to get the data for the spreadsheet. Oh, one other place, sorry. The rewards. I don't have any rewards in this particular campaign, so I fudged the numbers. Just as an example, but you would typically go in here to the rewards, and if you have a reward, there will be statistics here that will show you how many people collected each reward. And I simply went down 1, 2, and 3 on the spreadsheet. You might have more rewards than that. I didn't have a way. I just assumed 3 would be kind of a maximum. You could always add to this if you are an Excel guy or gal, but that's where that comes from. So all of that data, this number is calculated, by the way, on here, so you don't need to put that in. Don't change that number. Oh, and lastly, don't forget this, user data. I threw in the prize value because in the stats, what I wanted to be able to give my client is the cost per visit and the cost per lead. So they like those numbers, especially when they're really low, right? If you're doing Facebook advertising, you would probably want to include that in that number. I guess I could add another thing here to separate that data, but all I'm going to do is add the two totals so that maybe I should redo this and in the master sheet. What I should do is price value plus costs. That's what it should be. So it's not only just the prizes, but if you're doing any marketing and stuff, you would want to include that. Or if you're charging the client a fee to run the campaign, you would want to include that so that they would have sort of a true cost per lead number and a cost per visit. If you have any suggestions on additional data, let me know. I will be happy to consider putting that data in here. If you've gone through this at all, you see that there's some numbers here that are different than what upViral provides. Obviously, there's a whole lot more data here. All right, so that's a quick overview. It's not so quick on how to add the data and where I am with the statistics. Thanks for tuning in, and if you have any questions, please let me know. I'm at planetmitch@giveawayrocket.com on email, or planetmitch on Facebook. All over the place. Thanks.